Hello and welcome friends. So in this video we are going to talk about Genshin Impact and specifically about Traveler. Like as we already know that Traveler can actually engage with the statues and can convert its element into Anemo or Geo. So between Anemo and Geo, which one are best suitable for your team? Let's just talk about that in this video, right? So here we are at the Genshin website where we can see the list of heroes, but we will be only talking about the Traveler, and we have Traveler Anemo, sorry, and the Geo one. So let's just see their base stats and how they are working, and so that we can get a clear picture of who is actually of better usage in our gameplay as our main team member, right? So here is our Anemo one, and if you just look at the skill set of Anemo Traveler, the first is Foreign Iron Wind. It does normal attack, charge attack, and plunging attack. So it is basically same, and it will be same for Geo as well. So as you can see here, Foreign Rock Blade, normal attack, charge attack, and plunging attack, and all are dealing the exact same amount of damage. If I have to mention out here as well, they both do same damage for their normal attack. But if we come to their special attack segment, so for Anemo it is Palm Vortex. It actually grasps the winds and it actually creates a vortex. It is like if you have seen um, what was that, Rasengan of Naruto, right? It is a wind chakra that it accumulates the wind pressure into its palm and forcefully unleashes on the enemy team. So that is how it actually works, the palm vortex, and it deals a AoE damage against the enemy, and it also absorbs the elements around it. Like if you are having you can say water by your side, or there is some fire by your side, it can actually absorb that element as well and convert into fireball or a water ball and deal AoE damage accordingly to the enemy part, right? So that is what I really like about this one, that it can actually absorb the other elements surrounding it and can deal much more damage to the enemy part, right? And the main attack of Anemo Adventurer is the Gust Surge. So it basically creates a tornado, you can say, and that pulls every object and opponent towards itself, dealing continuous Anemo damage. And that damage can be converted into a hydro, pyro, cryo, or electro damage as well. It depends upon whenever it comes into contact with in each of these element additional, and it also deals additional damage of that particular type. So that is really great. uh, if we just compare it to the Traveler Geo one, its first main ability is Starfell Sword. So it basically is a very useful skill, I will say personally, because I have used him very often. So it actually summons a meteorite and it deals an AoE damage. So best part of the Geo ones is that whenever they come into contact with any other element, they actually create crystals, and those crystals act as a shield for you. So that is really great because you are getting a shield to be much more into the protective side, and you can long laster within the game. And one more thing I really like about the skills of Geo segment is that Geo Traveler, that you can use the Starfell sword to be a defensive measure. You can use him to be a defensive wall, whether you are facing the electro hypothesis or whether it might be a normal enemy. You can dodge the enemy attacks, but just by staying behind the Starfell sword skill. So that is really great. Another usage of this particular skill is that it will be really helpful for you climbing the mountains, as you already know that stamina is a really crucial point within this game, and stamina is used in climbing the wall, in gliding and using the elemental skills, right? But we have a tendency, whenever we climb, we actually keep on pushing that climb button, and initially we lose up our stamina and we are not able to reach the desired destination. But if you are using the Geo Traveler segment, you can use this particular skill in order to create a meteorite stand for yourself over the mountain. You can just go to the mountain, and if you feel to a particular point that your stamina will lose, at the same point you can summon the Starfell sword, this elemental meteorite, and you can rest upon it, and that will actually save your time, because it will eventually help you in retaining your stamina and gathering the stamina back in order to climb furthermore and reach your particular destination, right? So that is a really good point. It actually works as your climbing ladder, and along with that it also acts as a defensive measure for you. So the last and the main ability of the Traveler Geo is Wake of Earth. It creates shock waves, and within those shock waves comes these rock type segment which actually create a barrier around you, and it again creates a barrier, and it helps you in order to nullify the other attacks or in order to defend yourself, right? So that is really great. Again, I have to mention, although sometimes these summoning too many of meteorites and wake of earth will create a havoc in the arena, because the movement space will be limited for you, and especially if you are playing with the cooperation mission with your friends, it might get a little bit annoying, but it is a really useful skill for both the Starfell sword as well as the wake of earth, right? So that is about his skill segment in Anemo and Geo, right? So if we just go back to Anemo once again and look after his passive talents. So his passive talent says that first is Slitting Wind. It is unlocked at Ascension 1. The last hit of a normal attack combo unleashes a wind blade, dealing 60% of Anemo attack, right? And the second is Second Wind. Palm Vortex skills regenerate 2% HP for 5 seconds. So it is good. It is actually, but you have to take some point is that only the Palm Vortex skill will regenerate the HP for you. So you have to make sure that the last blow you are blowing upon the enemy should be from the Palm Vortex. That is his second skill that requires the stamina, right? Alongside, if we look at the Geo, his passive skills first is Shattered Dark Rock, reduces Starfall Sword CD by 2 seconds, and the second ability or the second passive talent is Frenzied Rock Slide. The final hit of a normal attack combo triggers a collapse, dealing 60% of attack as AoE geo damage. So it is okay, that seems fine. And if we just go back to Anemo and look at the Traveler Constellations, first is Raging Vortex. Palm Vortex pulls in enemies within 5 meters of radius. Second is Uprising Whirlwind, increases the energy recharge by 16%. That is like whenever you are killing, you must have noticed that you are getting some sort of energy in order to fill up your fill up your gauge for the main skill, right? Then the third constellation would be Sweeping Gust, increases the level of gust surge by 3, and maximum upgrade can be till level 15. The fourth would be cherishing breezes, reduces damage taken while casting palm vortex by 10%. Obviously, the Rasengan takes some time. Okay, the Rasengan takes some time in order to create the palm vortex. So decreases the chances of taking higher damage. The next would be Vortex Telarius, increases level of palm vortex by 3. The last would be Intertwined Winds, targets who take damage from gust surge, that is a main ability, have their Anemo resistance decreased by 20%. So that is good, but we have to also keep into notice that it will be only effective if they are getting hit by the traveler's main ability, that is the gust surge, right? So and only those will be getting a reduced defense against the enemy attack. Okay, so next, if we shall just go back to the traveler geo segment about his constellation, we can just look out that first is invincible stone wall. So allies within the radius of wake of earth have their criticality rate increased by 10% and have increased resistance against interruption. So that is great. So whoever if we have to consider, if your allies are within the stone wall that it creates from his main ability, their criticality rate under that stone wall will increase by 10%, and the resistance against interruption will also increase. So the resistance against interruption is basically when you are creating a main attack of your, it takes time to actually initiate that, and whenever we are trying to initiate that, enemy can attack us. So that is the increased resistance against interruption. So if there is some sort of interruption again through the enemy party, it actually reduces the output of their attack towards us. So that is good. The next would be rock core meltdown. When the meteorite created by Starfell sword is destroyed, it will also explode, dealing additional damage. So that is really great again. So it will be doing a task of being a supportive shield as well as a damage dealer. Then comes the Will of Rock, increase the level of wake of earth by 3. Then will be reaction force. The shock wave triggered by wake of earth regenerates 5 energy for every enemy hit. So that is good. If you are surrounded by many enemies, you can gather many energy points for your main ability to trigger again. So that is really great. And a maximum of 25 can be recovered, right? So that is really important. So the fifth constellation would be Meteorite Impact. Increases the level of Starfell Sword by 3. Okay. The last one would be Everlasting Boulder. The barrier created by wake of earth lasts 5 seconds longer. So that is again really great. It will be acting as a shield for you. And along with that, it will also provide the criticality rate for you for a larger amount of time, right? So as we have gone through both Anemo and Geo Traveler, and I also told you how well you can use the skills of Geo Traveler as a as you can climb mountains through his skills and also defend your party from being affected, especially if you are facing that Electro Cube or any other major enemy. You can really defend yourself, and it actually creates a shield for you, right? So for me personally, I will choose the traveler geo. If you really want to keep your traveler into your main party, he should be a geo one. But obviously this is my personal opinion. If you have your own opinion, let me know that as well, because I would really love to hear from you guys, like what are your own thoughts about traveler and which particular element suits him, right? And if you are new to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe to it, because I will be pushing many content about this particular game and many others for you guys to watch and learn from it, right? So stay safe and see you next time.